People keep commenting on my skin condition. I don't like it as much as you don't. Get used to it. It's not like I don't try to remedy it. Anyway, there's this concept of Weltschmerz in German, which roughly translates to world pain. The idea that you feel this physical pain, psychic pain, uh, over the state of the world. Things happening to people in the world, um, or things happening in general. Um, and I feel like over the last several days, I have constantly been feeling Weltschmerz. And it's strange because I thought that part of me that could feel that way was entirely dead. I thought it was impossible for me to care about what was going on in another country as if it were something happening to me or someone in my immediate environment. I distinctly remember the 2017 Syrian bombing that Trump did. I cried over that, and I was distraught for multiple days. I cried as well when I learned of the concept of the nuke in history class. The idea, the mere thought that human beings could manufacture something capable of such destruction and misery shook me in a way that felt almost as though I was convening with something more de- deontological deontological or spiritual, um, like it was ontologically evil. um, and this is the way I've generally felt about violence as a rule, or just people being mean to one another in general. Like, even something as small as someone being insensitive of what someone might be going through, this physically bothers me every time. And I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. All of my friends know this, that I constantly preface the things that I say, that I deliberately engage with them, that I show a great amount of politeness and respect. And this is something I do because even though there is a massive amount of suffering in the world, I can reduce at least a little bit of it by doing this. And that's something. That isn't to say I've always been successful. And the fair share of mistakes I've made on this path have been haunting. Every single day, I think about the people that I've hurt. Every single day, it pains me. And I think a lot of these videos, the only reason they exist is out of an attempt to reconcile those mistakes that I made, or simply to reconcile my relationship with social communities in general. This feeling of world pain is ever present for me right now, and I don't know why. I don't know what brought it on. Maybe it's the fact that I'm moving very, very soon. Maybe it's the fact that a lot of the friends I know have shown a great amount of kindness to me and are going through pain themselves. Well, whatever the reason may be, I've discovered that something that was there a long time ago is still in there. And given the nature of certain things I've done since the last time I felt this way, it was honestly a little shocking. I don't really know what to do about it. I don't know how to analyze it either, because it seems like people are not built to think this way. People are built to care about maybe like 100 max, or if they see someone like getting shot right in front of them. They are not built to be caring about starving people in Yemen. But me, I'm that guy who does a hunger strike in a Pizza Hut over those kids dying in Yemen. And where exactly does that come from? I guess it's because I imagine it happening to myself. Therefore, my actions, my thoughts, my feelings are dictated by that. But there comes a point when it's simply inefficient. Like, you literally can't maintain that level of feeling for most people. Most people after a certain point go, I don't want to deal with this anymore. This is just how things are, and then they adapt. What you're witnessing is someone who has not adapted. And that's the strange thing. So why don't I have that survival tactic of desensitization? I don't know. There was a concept that a therapist, one of the first therapists I ever had when I was 16, gave to me called boundaries. And it was this idea that you have a backpack carried on you at all times, and it's weighed down with your emotional baggage. And if you start putting in other people's baggage in your backpack, you'll be weighed down so heavily that you won't be able to walk. And I really internalized that. Like, I stopped reacting as significantly to the troubles of the people around me. I stopped being affected, for the most part. I would take the stance of a neutral observer. However, and this is the hard part, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you just feel Weltschmerz, and I can't remove it from my bag because it's blaring right in front of me in a way so egregiously obvious that to do anything other than react would feel wrong in itself. The thing is, though, this should inspire action. I don't think anyone truly feels something that they're saying unless their behaviors reflect those things they say. And in that sense, I have tried to be a net positive for as many people as I possibly can. And it is one of the things motivating me to stay alive right now, to wake up every day and continue working towards a job and my degree. It's because if I were in a position of financial stability, I would be able to help others. I would be able to contribute to the world in a positive way through having a larger reach. I care about these things more than I care about my own immediate pleasure. Because to me it feels as though the things happening to those people are things that are happening to me. But I've had moments where, like, I feel the exact opposite, where it feels like something so bad is happening in front of me that I'm looking at the world from, like, a bird's eye view, like I'm watching a movie, like I don't even exist. I'm simply manipulating the strings of a marionette puppet. And those are the moments when it's difficult for me to feel bad for anyone. But I think those moments stem exactly from that level of sensitivity that I otherwise possess. And I don't know how to address this problem. Because from a pragmatic standpoint, it would be ideal just to not have this. Like, I could do all of the good things. I could change the world for the better and not feel compelled to do it. The feelings themselves are entirely useless, but I feel them, and they continue to have a negative effect on my life in terms of my physical and emotional health. But this goes back to perhaps my favorite quote. It's probably been my favorite quote since I was like a child. From Fred Rogers, when he said, "It's easy to say, it's not my problem, not my community, not me, and not care about what's happening around you. But those people who feel compelled to take action and help when they see the need, those are my heroes." I want to be a hero like that. And I think I already am in a very small way for a few people. But I can only make it to that point by continuing to improve myself and by giving myself a chance, even when I'm having this feeling of Weltschmerz. I shouldn't wallow in it and do nothing. It should motivate me to bring more positivity into the world and to improve myself to be able to improve the lives of others. I guess it's that reconciliation with others that I've been seeking to do with this channel the whole time. In the same sense that creativity, or rather expression, is my salvation. That salvation is precisely expressed through reconciliation. Why would so many of my pieces of writing be concerned with other people, with the external? I don't typically talk about entities, the technicalities of things, nor do I describe natural phenomena with much depth. I describe emotions. And I describe emotions because I'm the person who people go to have their emotions explained to them. I serve that function for most of my friends. Most of my friends come to me and go, "I don't understand what I'm feeling or what's happening." And then I say what I think. And they say, "Wow, you expressed my thought in words far better than I could have. You knew it, what was going on, better than I knew it." And that's a form of reconciliation. That's a form of expression. And it's, in a small way, being a hero. But I can go further. And I will go much, much further in light of these feelings or not. Simply because it is my personal philosophy to do so. I feel fulfilled when I'm a net positive. I feel like a worthwhile human being when I can be a net positive. I never wanted to hurt anyone, and I never do. There's already too much of that going on in the world today, and the mere thought of it, in some ways, is continue to bring me shudders. But if I lead by example, how many more heroes can I create?